Hey, what's good? What's going on, beautiful people? This is me, the Infinity Midwife, coming to you once again. I hope you're taking care of your minds, your hearts, and your entire being. I needed to make this video because I felt compelled to talk about a subject that we don't talk about often. Now, first of all, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And you can check out the link, I believe, that I put in my bio or about section. You can find my link tree and see what are the beautiful services that I offer to you. So I do some energetical cleansing. I do some form of consultation. So I heal with the elements. I also do accompany if you need to birth the greatest version of yourself, or if you need or if you feel like you need assistance. How about you check on my link tree and see how I can better be of assistance to you? Okay, so sorry, that being said, I was compelled to do a message today about how important it is to protect our vessels. Okay. Now I am completing one of the courses that I did mention, how to move from a 5G to a 5D reality. And so it's a French course and that's being fully completed. Okay. And so if you are a French speaker and you're interested in knowing how you can better evolve on your journey, then yes, go and check it out. It's on my link tree. Okay. Now, as I'm making a link to the whole course, I'm also stressing the importance to absolutely come out of the illusion that you are just this meat suit. Okay, we've been lied to for now over centuries that we are comprised in this body, and all the external force that we need is outside of our bodies, which is in turn is not true. It's actually the other way around. You have an internal force, an internal central system within your body, your vessel, which dictates how the external is going to unfold for you. Okay. But there can be many distractions. There can be many curses or things that you need to dismantle before you fully align and you start tapping in. Okay. Now I'm talking to you right now. I'm also new to this. Probably in the last 3 years, but I would say that I've been always in search of, finding the deeper meaning of everything and finding the greater truth, for over a decade now. So, I've kind of been really just, on my soul search journey, and, I've made choices in my life that really pushed me into, understanding who I really am. So I'm a mother of 3 boys. I gave birth to all 3. I had unassisted pregnancies and unassisted deliveries. And basically, that helped me a lot into understanding, the deeper meaning of life, how life and death are equally intertwined, how, we are to be mentally challenged. Right. And the revolution will not be one of this external reality. As this external reality is collapsing, a new one is birthing, but only through your mental exercise, your mental evolution, your mental awareness, will you be able to, recondition yourself or reprogram yourself into a new truth that goes against everything that has been taught to you. Okay. So why am I talking about this? Well, first of all, I feel like when you understand where you come from, you understand that you're more than just this meat suit. You understand that, everything is interconnected. Everything has a meaning. Everything has purpose. All the choices that we make, or the absence of choices that we make, are still choices. And, we still have free will. And, as children, we do grow up in a world where, you know, we try to fit in as much as we can. But as time is advancing, we're coming out of that illusion as to, you know, younger generations today are millionaires. Some of them don't even finish school. They open up businesses. They have brilliant ideas, and they're just making it, they're creating a world in their own terms. And that's the direction that we're all leading into. Okay. Now, the next message that I wanted to share with you guys today is the importance of maintaining your vessel. Just as much as I was saying that, you know, we're going to be needing to exercise our mental, demanding effort to our mental in order to recondition ourselves, right? We can only do that when we are exercising our mental. And there are many, many ways to do it. One of them to do it is through physical exercise. When you physically train, you can then better condition your mind. Memory as well. Memory exercises will help for your mind to deprogram itself as it pertains to certain concepts, or, you know, it will help you remember who you truly are when you start tapping within. And there are many, many ways to tap within, you know, but the subject of today is how to make sure that your vessel is protected. Okay. Because we've been lied to. We've been told that this body here, you know, is the only thing that you need to be aware of. Okay. But it's not true. We are all, you know, there are many layers, there are many dimensions to this, right? And we're more than just this meat suit. Okay. And so one of the ways that you can think about this is when you sleep, right? When you sleep, your soul is actually coming out of your body and visiting different dimensions and traveling a little bit here and there, and then gets the calling to go back into your body and wake up for the next day, right? And so people can say, you know, that's the astral world. There are many, many worlds, right? And we're all living like everything is collapsing one over the other. Okay. So it's just to acknowledge, right, that there are many layers to our existence. We're not just this limited body that's just going through life to experience things and to, you know, and to just be. Well, I mean, to just exist without any purpose behind it. You know, I feel like we've all come here with purpose, and we're all different on our soul journey, soul evolution journey. And so we need to understand that, you know, our vessel is our temple. Okay. Our vessel is our temple. I'll say that again. Our vessel is our temple, meaning that, right, when we talk about, you know, the temple of God, we're not talking about, you know, going to the church and praise, although that is part of worshiping God. But one of the ways to worship God is to maintain this vessel alive, and to maintain it alive and to maintain it in equilibrium with its own internal ecosystem, as well as, you know, making sure that external environments or external factors do not distract this overall sense of balance that is from within. Okay. Why is this important? Why am I saying all this? Well, it is to say that we need to start addressing, right, the different layers that comes with being in awareness with our bodies. Now, I'm at the same place as, you know, anybody else who's going through this journey or who has gone through this journey, or is still evolving on this journey, because we're all on the same journey. And we are all experimenting life. We're all experimenting different parts or different aspects of that truth, right? And so when we say your vessel is your temple, ultimately what we're saying is you have to treat this vessel just as much as you would treat a home, okay? Right? The same way every seasons, for instance, you take away the junk, you take away the extra, the overload in your home. You make sure that you sort through your clothes, you give away shoes, you give away things that you no longer need. Well, the same is applicable to your temple, right? Every season you need to purge. Every season you need to do something in order for, for the extra or the overload of toxins get rid of. Okay. And there are many ways to do that. Okay. So cleaning is one of the ways, or is one of the discipline, or is one of the factors that you should take into consideration when you're maintaining, or you're making sure that you are committed to this temple of God here, this vessel. Okay. So one of the ways is by cleansing it. Okay. Another one is to exercise, not only exercising the body, but also the mind. One of the ways as well is transmutation of energies. What I mean by that, sometimes in your home, when you walk into your home, you feel that the decor is no longer relevant, or there are some pieces of furniture that probably needs a little moving here and there, right? So you're going to move things around, right? You're probably going to redecorate your kitchen at some point. You're probably going to change the cabinets. You're probably going to, want to change the whole layering of your living room or your bedroom, right? So the same is applicable to your vessel. At some point, you're going to want to reconfigure some aspect of yourself that, that you've come to the conclusion that it's no longer applicable, or it does no longer fit with where you're going on your evolutionary journey, right? So you're probably going to dismantle some ideas about yourself, some identities about yourself. You're probably going to go through some form of change where your personality is going to change, where you're no longer going to be responsive to the old mechanism of your old identity. And you're probably going to want to switch it up a bit, or you're probably going to, let go of some friends, let go of some things, some habits that you had. If you were one to always indulge into sugary stuff because, you weren't, or that was your defense mechanism in order for you to deal with emotions that are, that are pertaining to maybe abandonment issues. Cause most of the time when we eat a lot of sugar is because we are having, or we're finding it hard to deal with loneliness, right? We want to feel love. We want to feel the embrace, the love. But when you understand that, there's a whole central system that is living within yourself, and that can bring you that amount of love, that amount of reciprocity, that amount of attention that you need, right? You come to the conclusion that, okay, maybe you don't need to eat as much sugar as you were probably told, or as you probably, as it became a habit for you to deal with certain emotions pertaining to abandonment issue or just feeling lonely. So you do start implementing different habits, different forms of defense mechanism, or different forms of responses to a certain emotion or a certain habit. Okay. So that's one of the ways to do it. And that's what I call transmuting of energies, right? You can do that in a home setting. So the same is replicated with your vessel. Okay. So when you look at your vessel, you have many, many bodies, many functions, many chambers is what I like to call them. And all chambers hold a specific role, a specific line of action, a specific response to neurons activity. So, right, we're all different individuals. We're all going to have different responses. We're all going to have, our ways of responding that are different from one individual to another. So my point of this video is to get acquainted with the many facets of yourself, is to get acquainted with the many responses of, your identity, of who you really are, right? And when you feel like, there's a block, or there's a wall, or there's something that's stopping you to get to the deeper meaning, or to the I want to say the underlying issue, or the underlying factor, stop everything that you're doing and just recenter yourself with a few breaths. that is going to greatly give you a new sense of perspective, a new vantage point, a new way of analyzing things. And it's just going to boost you into doing something or thinking something different. Okay. Now, one of the things as well, because we are a whole collective of souls walking on this earth, we are not alone. We need as well protection, right? This temple of God needs protection. Yes, we are protected, but we still need that awareness because, you know, the more you keep up with maintaining that temple of God, the more you nourish it, the more you give it love, the more you give it awareness, the more you cultivate it, the more you clean it up, the more you cleanse it, the more you purge it, the more, I want to say, innocent and pure your vessel becomes. Okay? For all types of forces. Most of the time when you take care of your temple of God, most of the time it's going to be, you know, you're going to have this pure life force energy that is going to be guiding your every step, that is going to be at the center of your of all your chambers, and that is also going to be, you know, reflected into this external reality, right? But when there's light, most of the time, what do you see? Let's say I open up, I'm on a camping site. I go to the bathroom, I open up the light. What do I see? A whole bunch of insects going towards the light, because the light is warm. The light, you know, the light has that awareness of all the other insects around, right? So when you start maintaining, you start giving so much love, so much nourishment to that temple that is within you, or that whole temple. You know, there are many ways to look at it, but all in all is when you start dedicating some time, some effort, some energy into maintaining that temple of God, ultimately you're going to emanate a light, a life force, a power. Okay. And there are many, many terms, you know, that you can compare that life force to. Okay. So we're just going to use that power or that light. And when you do emanate that light, it's going to create some kind of attraction for more light to come into your space. And it's also going to attract for more distractions, for more people, or for more souls that are not vibrating on that same frequency, because they have not dedicated so much time and energy and nurturing into their own temple. But because of that deficiency within them, they're going to be attracted to your light. And that's where you're going to have to have discernment, right? Because all kinds of attacks can occur when that happens. The more you maintain and you purge and you cleanse and you nurture your temple, the more you're going to be, I want to say vulnerable, but at the same time, I want to say you're going to be open to all kinds of attractions and pulling towards you. That's where you're going to have discernment. That's where you're going to have inspired actions, is what I call them. That's where you're going to have to get to the deeper meaning as to how you conduct yourself. When I say inspired action, is you're not doing things just to do things. You're doing them because you're being called to do them. You're being called. It's an internal calling for you to have that walk, or have that structure, or have that plan of action. Okay. It's not just you're waking up and then you just do things up and about. It's something that is well thought. It is something that is inspired, and it's like I want to say it's like a calling that you get, or right, an inspired action or an inspired thought, right? That comes into your mind, that comes into your heart, and you feel it. It like it takes over you. Okay. So when you start, right, taking care of that temple, you're going to attract ultimately all kinds of things towards you. Okay. Things from this dimension, from other dimension. That is why it's important to have discernment. And when I say discernment, what I'm ultimately talking about is spiritual discernment, meaning You're not just relying on your 2 eyes and, your gun and, your Glock or, a baseball bat in your room that you keep with you just in case, somebody wants to come up to your door. That's the 3D basic level type of protection we're talking about. When we're talking about spiritual protection, we're talking about ultimately that you have different forms of prayers to protect this vessel, this temple of God, that you have much more than just, 3D physical things to defend you, right? When you go to sleep with a prayer of protection. When you are called to pray, you go into prayer. And prayer can be a simple thing as give me discernment so that I can see all things, right? It could just be an affirmation. I affirm that I have the sight to see all things, that I have discernment to see all things. Show yourself to me, right? So it can be a form of prayer. It can be prayer from the Bible. It can be a prayer from a book that you have a strong belief to, right? Because there's no point of you exercising a prayer that you do not that you not only you do not believe in, but you do not feel a pull and attraction towards. Okay. So, there are many forms of protection. So when you go into your sleep, right, you're not just open for all types of attacks because again, people, we are walking in a time where, dimensions are being brought up to the surface. We're actually starting to see, feel, hear things of other dimensions because we're all just intertwined in this realm all together, right? Some are out of this realm, coming into this realm and then going back out again. Some are blocked in this realm. Some are fighting through these realms. Like there are all kinds of battles happening. So if you are a true, if you are upkeeping and maintaining and, making sure that this temple is revived, is celebrated, is healthy, you got to make sure that when you go to sleep, you're not just open to any kinds of astral attacks, right? You're not open to any kinds of, people playing in your dreams, people coming in to rape you in your dreams, or, putting some kind of confusion spells in your mind as you are asleep, because some people do that when you are starting to be well versed in the occult. If you have bad intentions, or you're just seeking to steal the light of another vessel, then yes, you're going to utilize those knowledge, those hidden knowledge in order to get into someone's dreams and plant a seed, right? Or try to put a spell as they are sleeping, right? Some will utilize your dream state or your sleeping state to put a spell and to paralyze your body or paralyze your soul so that your body is open to any kinds of attacks, meaning you can get raped in your sleep. You can get poisoned in your sleep. You can get all kinds of attacks that your soul is not going to recognize right away. Because again, when you sleep, your soul is out of your body. But when it comes back into your body, then it has certain responses or confusion because there was a misalignment, right? Something was planted or someone came in and, brought down one of your defenses wall. That happens, okay? And it happens even more so commonly than what we think, okay? That is why it's very important to keep your prayers up. And it can be prayers that you write yourself. It can be prayers that you believe in strongly that are being protected for you. It can be just you, I don't want to say pleading, but asking for your spiritual team to protect you as you sleep. It can be something very symbolic as, making a drawing of yourself and having that circle of protection. It can be very, very literal, or it can be very abstract. That's where you have to use your imagination in order to come up with ways of protecting yourself. It can be your hands, utilizing energy and just making sure that whatever affirmation that comes with it, you are affirming that you've put a shield of protection, whether it's around your vessel or around your house, your vicinity, whatever have you. But it's important for you to start opening up your mind and realizing that, you know, if you are dedicated and committed to this soul evolution journey, right, you also have to be in the awareness that, you know, there can be, you know, you're open to all kinds of attacks, right? Sometimes it can be people astral projecting some kind of confusion, and out of nowhere, you start feeling out of balance or confused, or you don't know where to give, you know, where to give or focus right away. You know, I would suggest you to utilize water. Water is a very potent dissolvent. It helps you dissolve. It helps you transmute. It helps you cope. Water is very important. So every time you feel like something is out of alignment, or you don't know where to give head, or when I say give head, what I mean is stay focused, or if you feel like something is just out of the ordinary, drink water. And as before you drink that water, you talk to that water, you speak it into existence as to how you want that water to help you dissolve whatever it is that you want to dissolve. Okay, I'm just giving you some tips and hints here and there. It can be taking a shower, right? When you hop in the shower, you ask for any energies that are not of yours to be fully dissolved in that water. Okay, so there are many ways to do this, but it's just in order for you to stay in alignment. There are going to be constant attacks. It's just like, I don't know if you're familiar with Star Trek. I am. I am familiar with Star Trek. So, you know, when you look at that ship that is in the universe, right? And then it has many chambers, but every chamber has its function. And then the main central focal chamber is aware of all kinds of attacks or any surrounding, you know, unknown attack that can come from any form or types of dimension or universes, right? Sometimes it's through a black hole that's just going to open up and you're going to find a vessel coming out and ready to attack you, right? It's the same symbology that is applicable to your vessel. Okay. So, you know, the more your vessel is upkept, is clean, is maintained, is strengthened, is very much so strong, the more you are open to receiving all kinds of energies and attacks. Okay, that's why it's important for you to have discernment. It's important for you to tap in many times throughout the day. It's important for you to stay balanced with the elements, stay into your environment. And I'm not saying that you need to necessarily isolate yourself, but you definitely need to transmute whatever you feel isn't in alignment with where you're going. It's very important for you to transmute, write it down, speak it out. You need to transmute that energy. Okay. And then always come back into, you know, acknowledging whatever that you were fighting, whatever that was going on, that you always come back into that acknowledgement, and with gratitude, you just let it go. I don't know if I made sense. Did I? Anyways, y'all, that was the message for tonight. Just make sure that you're using a lot of protection through prayers, through meditation, through affirmations. Make sure as well that you are cleaning your vessels as much as you're cleaning your house, right? Make sure that, you know, as much as you're cleaning your house, you're also cleaning your vessel. If you need to clean your house, then maybe that's an indicator that you're probably going to need to purge your body. And when I say purge, there are many ways to purge it. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that here, but there are many ways to purge your body. Okay. And yes, one other things that I want to say when I talk about purging, it's important to also come to the awareness that the types of food that we eat are going to be conducive to the types of attacks that we do get. Okay. So the more you upkeep your vessel, the more you maintain it, the more you put in foods that are alive, that are going to help you rise up in your frequency, or rise up into how you connect to God, or, this internal wisdom within, or your higher self, or whatever name you want to call it, right? It's going to be important for you to refrain from eating certain foods, because certain foods do come with some form of bacteria, some form of tapeworms, some form of I want to say risk of propagating viruses within your intestine, right? Because we say that the gut is the second brain, right? The first brain is the one in your mind or in your head, and then the second one is in the gut. But if your gut is not healthy, if it's filled with parasites, it's going to be attracting these attacks on this external reality as well. So it's important for you, when you're going through the purge, that you are purging your intestine, both small and the big intestine. It's important that you refrain from eating things like sugars. If you are going, if the more or higher frequency that you are getting to, it's going to be important as well to refrain from eating certain meats, certain dead animals, and slowly get your way into eating more lively foods. Okay. Now, that's the last thing I wanted to say. So I hope this made sense. We'll see you on another video. Okay. Take care of your minds, your hearts, and your entire being. And until then, stay blessed, stay well, and stay hydrated. Actually, I'm going to drink some water right now.